It's a rare thing in cold cases, finding a glimmer of hope.
This find could potentially solve the case if they can get the killer's DNA off that quilt.
Maria James was stabbed 68 times in a frenzied attack. Her blood-stained clothes and bed quilt might have held the killer's DNA, but they went missing. Most likely in the early 90s, when some bloodied exhibits were destroyed, deemed biohazards, with police not foreseeing future leaps in DNA technology. But Ms James's son Mark says the quilt has turned up during a routine police audit, and DNA testing is currently underway.
The bag still has the barcode on it. There's the chain of custody has been preserved and the quilt is uncontaminated.
Forensic scientist at Flinders University, Professor Adrian Lineker, says there's a good chance the quilt may yield a DNA profile, even after all this time.
I've managed to get a good DNA profile from something from the 1400s, would you believe? But that was bizarre. Sometimes you can't get something from only a few years ago. It really depends upon how well it's stored.
Mark James hopes any DNA found can be compared to two people he believes were involved in his mother's murder. Two former local priests, Father Anthony Bongiorno and Father Thomas O'Keefe.
Mum had found out that one of the priests had been sexually assaulting my brother Adam just the weekend before the murder, and then the day of the murder she had planned to confront one of the priests. Later we found out from Adam that both priests had actually sexually assaulted him.
A witness told the ABC's Trace podcast he saw Father Bongiorno near the crime scene, covered in blood.
He had blood on one side of his face, I'm not sure what side, and he had blood on both hands.
The two priests have died, but police could apply for their exhumation or might already have their DNA on file. Any profile found on the quilt can also be compared to other persons of interest in this case, to include or exclude them as suspects. This quilt find comes just in time for the fresh coronial inquest in September. The James family's lawyer, Nati Guerrero-Diaz, says a lot will hang on those 3 weeks.
The best case scenario is that the coroner finds in the circumstances of the death that certain people were involved.
Well, I think Mum would be a little bit proud of Adam and I and the way we've just kept pushing and the way we're not going to give up.
Rachel Brown, ABC News, Melbourne.